If you clicked on this video, you are probably brand new to the guitar and you are looking for something to help you from the ground up. Well, I've been teaching guitar for over 15 years. I've helped hundreds of students learn to play, and I've been doing it with this book quite a bit. And I wanted to make a video course that goes through this book, the Hal Leonard Guitar Tab Method. We're just going to go through it page by page, detail by detail, and give you the fundamentals to get good at playing your guitar. And in this first video, we're just going to look at the first couple pages, and we might not even need to play very much guitar for this, but we got to get the basics down. So let's scroll down. There's the credits. The authors here. Want to give credit where credit's due. This isn't my book, I didn't write it, but I'm just teaching it in my course. The Hal Leonard Corporation, copyright 2012. Alright, so getting started. They start right from scratch as if you've never seen a guitar before in your life. We've got the parts of the guitar. Now, the important thing here is that sometimes our playing techniques are described by some of these parts, or certain sounds are described by some of these parts, and it can be embarrassing not to know them in a musical situation. So, some of this stuff is obvious. The headstock, the neck, the body. We got volume and tone controls on our electric guitar. We've got the pickup selector switch. That's for these three things under the strings here called pickups. The bridge is where the strings begin on your right hand side. The nut is where the strings end on your left hand side. The tuning keys or tuning heads or machine heads or tuners are up here on the headstock, of course. The metal bars embedded in the neck are called frets, and the neck and frets combined are called the fretboard. The position markers, those little dots in your guitar, their only function is to mark your position on the fretboard. The 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 12th fret, 15th, 17th, 19th, 21st. Your guitar might have a whammy bar. That's this expression bar right here. We'll get to that in due time. We've got the strap button where your strap for your guitar goes. Acoustic guitars sometimes lack an extra strap button, often left to the user to install that. The only thing the acoustic guitar has that the electric guitar does not is a sound hole. You can see here in the diagram, that's because your acoustic guitar is designed to work without amplification, and the electric guitar needs amplification. So, moving on. Tuning. We got to talk about tuning here, everybody. The quickest and most accurate way to get in tune is to use an electronic tuner. You can either plug your guitar into the tuner or use the tuner's built-in microphone to tune an acoustic. You can also get a clip-on tuner. I like the Snark. I'm not paid to say that or anything, but I do like the Snark clip-on tuner, and I like this white one because it has no removable rubber foot that falls off after several uses. So I like to use that one. To tune your guitar, you apply a tuner to it, and then you use your tuning heads to get your notes in the right place. A quick note about tuning is that you got to visualize it right. If I play my tuner, or play my string, and my tuner tells me that I'm on an E note, there will be an E at the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen, and there will be an arrow pointing straight up to it. If I then tighten the string, the needle moves here. I'm still getting an E note reading, but the needle has moved. And then if I tighten it some more, pardon my bad triangle there, but the more I move it this way, the further away it gets from E. By the time it gets down here and starts crossing that line that way, we become closer to the note F, and the tuner will switch over to F. And then as I come up this way, let's erase some of these. As I come up this way, my tuner will start reading, oh, we're almost at F, and when I tighten it enough, we arrive at F. Now that seems pretty simple. The stupid thing is, your tuner probably is only showing you this portion of the diagram. So your needle will go this way, and then all of a sudden it jumps way over here and your note changes. To the novice guitarist, this makes much confusion and you end up wanting to turn your note back, or you feel like you're lost. Just think of it like we've skipped the bottom of the dial, and when the note changes, it means you're going in the right direction. Now the needle's just on the other side. If you twist a string's tuning key clockwise, the pitch will become lower. So if you turn it clockwise, the note goes down. We hear that. If you turn it counterclockwise, the pitch goes up. Bringing it back down to E there to keep myself in tune. So, tuning, that's what you got to know. If you cannot tune your guitar, please get that done first. There is no use in practicing the guitar if you are out of tune, because all you're going to do is train yourself to do the right thing and hear the wrong sound. Guitars naturally go out of tune every day or so, and you should check your tuning every time you pick up the guitar. Even after you've just played for an hour or so, if you feel like maybe your strings took a whooping, give it a tune. You have tuners for a reason. Don't expect your guitar to stay in tune, and it's worth checking so that you don't waste your practice time sounding bad. Let's move on. Oh man, they get right to it here. Holding the guitar. Now we're in business. So, big thing is that you should put the guitar on your right leg if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed and your whole situation is backwards, then just, do the left-handed version of all this. I'm not going to hold your hand, even your left one. It does say here, it's important to remain relaxed and tension-free. This is important. When we're new to the instrument, a lot of times we get so worried about the details. What are my hands doing? Where is my finger? How do I pick? Am I picking right? Is everything okay? Can I see what I'm playing? And then we slowly get crunched up to the point that we can't play comfortably, and we're, putting ourselves in a tense position, and it's, becomes literally uncomfortable to play. We want to try and make sure that we're sitting up reasonably straight, and it's important to try and keep your arm from being stuck on your leg or stuck on your side. You want your arm to be off the side of your body so that your whole arm can move as your hand moves around the neck of the guitar. Left hand position. This is important. Your fingers are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the index 1, the middle 2, the ring 3, and the pinky 4. It is really important that you know which finger is 1, 2, 3, and 4 for most of this book. Fingers should be pressed on the strings, arched. So don't go on with the flat front of your finger if you're playing just one string. Have your finger arched so that you kind of come down vertically onto your string. This will be important for keeping yourself from blocking out other strings on your guitar when you might need to keep them ringing. Avoid letting the palm of your hand touch the neck of the guitar. This is another important one. I mean, you can touch it sometimes a little bit, but if you are wrapping your hand around the guitar to play your notes, you're doing yourself a whole lot of discomfort. Think of it like the tips of our fingers and the tip of our thumb is all that needs to touch the guitar to play it at this stage. For your right hand, says here, hold the pick between your thumb and index finger. You can do that. I also recommend using your middle finger. That's what I do. I just find that it gives me different control on the pick. As long as you're holding your pick between your thumb and one of your first two fingers, you're going to be okay. You'll see me holding mine with my middle finger, but whatever is comfortable for you to get a good attack on the strings. A good rule of thumb, literally, is that you want your thumb to be behind the pick. If the thumb is pointing at the wall and the pick is pointing at the ground, that's the angle we want, because then you have a 90-degree angle there. When you rest your hand on the guitar to play it, your pick is naturally pointed right at the strings. So we don't want to have it pointing out like it's an extension of our thumbnail. We also don't want to hang onto the pick too lightly so that it flops around in our hand, nor do we want to choke up on the pick too much so that there's no tip to it. Now, you may choose not to use a pick. That's fine. Just be aware that there are some sounds or techniques that are based on using a pick, just as much as there are some sounds and techniques that are based on using fingers. And it's a healthy approach to do both. We'll use the pick primarily in this book because most of the songs call for it, but I'll let you know when we can do fingers. Now, that about concludes our time for the first video. So, click through the next video. We're doing the whole book in order, and I'll be posting these videos on the regular. You should see a few per week until the book is done. And then guess what? There's 2 more in the series. So if you like the way that I explain this stuff, then please watch on. Thanks. like and subscribe.